Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, hello, welcome. We're going to be doing baseball videos hopefully twice a week. So the Braves have had an awesome offseason to this point, but I do feel that they need one more thing to truly call it an offseason. Going over some of their moves to beef up the bullpen, you have Ronaldo Lopez, the big signing, along with Penn Murphy, Ray Kerr, and the Aaron Bummer trade. Shoring up left field, they acquired Jared Kelenic from the Seattle Mariners. And of course, the most recent one, Chris Sale from the Boston Red Sox to shore up the rotation. But as I said at the top, I do feel that there's just one more missing piece to really make this Braves team as complete as it possibly can be. Over the past couple years, the Braves, of course, have had the fourth outfield option to platoon with Eddie Rosario to be the weaker side of that platoon. Braves legends such as Adam Duvall, Kevin Pillar, and my glorious king, Guillermo Heredia. And with these outfield options, the Braves have really gotten a lot of light bat action, but with good gloves. So for the Braves to upgrade that position, here are three outfielders that I think they could turn into really good pieces. Now, before we get into the actual list, let's acknowledge that Jared Kelenic is going to be the stronger side of that platoon, and you are looking for someone who isn't going to get as many plate appearances, so there's no need to go out and throw the bag at somebody. Jared Kelenic in his career is a 189 hitter in a left-on-left matchup. Of course, this was before his first decent year this year, where Kelenic had a 259 average against lefties with a 115 WRC plus in 92 plate appearances. So obviously, if the Braves feel like that he is going to hit against lefties, there's really no need to go get a huge name, but for safety's sake, for video's sake, and for fun's sake, let's go over the list. Now, before we get into the actual list, I do want to start off with an honorable mention. Kevin Pillar. Pillar didn't have the best 2023 season because he was platooning with Eddie, and even when, he just did not have it. He's a veteran outfielder with a great glove and a very light bat at this point, but he did come through in some big clutch moments for the Braves, except for the base running error in the 2023 NLDS, but that run wouldn't have mattered anyway. And even when you look at his StatCast page, it is not the prettiest in the slightest. I really liked having Kevin Pillar around. I think he is a great presence in the clubhouse. He does bring a decent enough glove. And if the Braves are confident that Jared Kelenic is going to be pretty darn good versus lefty this year, I'd be fine with bringing him in as a fourth outfielder option. Now, I'm not going to be hooping and hollering and celebrating if they do bring him back, but I'm not going to be upset about it either. Now, let's go ahead and get on to the actual list. Leading us off, it is Michael A. Taylor. In 2023, with the Minnesota Twins, Taylor hit 220, 278, and a 442 slash line with a 720 OPS. Not the greatest to look at. But the silver lining with Michael A. Taylor is the defense, and he's also a really good base runner. And also, if you look at the StatCast page, he finds barrels. And we all know how the Braves hitting lab works wonders on people. So maybe the Braves can work a miracle on Michael A. Taylor and he can become a really good piece. He ranked in the 88th percentile of barrel rate, and this is a chance to buy low on a player with a high upside. And if he never hits, guess what? You have a great outfield option for defense, and you also have a good base running option. Next up, we have a name that all of Braves country knows, and that's Adam Duvall. Now, everybody in Braves country knows what Adam Duvall is, but for the sake of the video, let's go over what he's done. In 2023 with the Boston Red Sox, he slashed 247, 303 with a 531 slugging percentage and had an OPS of 834. He did miss a good chunk of 2023 because of a broken wrist injury. I believe he rolled over it in the outfield, which ironically is the same kind of injury that took him out of the Braves and ended his tenure with them in 2022. Different injury, but also a wrist injury, so just kind of a coincidence. If you look at the StatCast page, there is a lot of blue, and similar to Michael A. Taylor, he does have a good barrel percentage. But Adam Duvall is a veteran hitter, and the Braves know how to work with him because they've done it before. That would bring a lot of pop to the bench as well as the right-handed side of the platoon with Jared Kelenic. And the Braves always know how to work with Adam Duvall, so maybe they can cut down on his strikeouts because that was his main problem in 2022, and unfortunately he didn't get a chance to play the rest of that year because of the injury. But I would really love to see Adam coming back. Now, the main reason I don't think he would come back is the main reason he went to the Red Sox. They gave him a chance to start in center field, and for a good couple months before his injury, he was really good for him. So if he's able to sell himself on those early months of last year's season to teams, as well as the fact that he finished with the slash line that he did after missing some time with the wrist injury, I do think Adam Duvall is going to get a lot of phone calls from teams about starting position, of which the Braves are not going to give that to him. And the final member on my list today is going to be fantasy football legend Tommy Pham. Pham is strangely a journeyman, and I don't really know why. He's always hit very well wherever he goes, and maybe it's because he's maybe a bit brash in the clubhouse or something or another, but I can tell he's just a hard worker and he speaks his mind. Just look at what he said about the Mets this year. In 2023, between the Mets and the Diamondbacks, Pham slashed 256, 328, 446, and had a 774 OPS. The only real downside to Pham's game is that he's not the greatest defender. He's not terrible, but he's not the best on the market. He also isn't the best base runner out there, but the Braves willingly put Eddie Rosario as their starting left fielder out in left field for the past 2 years, so I don't think they're really too worried about defense in that spot. Now, in reality, I don't think that Pham is going to be super realistic for the Braves. Similar to Duvall, I think that Pham's going to want to start somewhere wherever he does go. But since he has been undervalued his whole career money-wise, I do see maybe Alex Anthopoulos giving him a shot to play with a winning atmosphere, because he is, in fact, the king of under-market contracts. So if Pham wants to come to a very electric atmosphere, a winning team, and from what I hear from the clubhouse, a very competitive fantasy football league, Atlanta would be a great spot for him, and we would be happy to have him. Now, as I said at the top, the Braves, in typical Braves fashion, could go find a nobody, make him work for a couple months, and that's your guy. And as I've also said throughout the video, this is all dependent on if the Braves think that Jared Kelenic is a platoon piece or if he is actually a bona fide hitter. Is he going to be able to hit lefties, which we only have 1 year of sample size to go off of and a very small amount of plate appearances, 92 to be exact. With 92 plate appearances, he was able to record a 115 WRC+, so not bad in the slightest. And honestly, if the Braves are still looking for one, their outfield's an easy position upgrade. There's a billion outfielders. So if you come at the end of spring training, there's a castaway you want to pick up, or at the trade deadline, there's a piece you would like to see with the Braves, the Braves are going to go get him. It might not be the biggest, flashiest name. You might get Robbie Grossman again, but you're still going to get a fourth outfielder, which I do think Alex Anthopoulos is eventually going to get to. But basically what I'm trying to say is it's not paramount. But it would be awesome for the Braves to add a very powerful pop bat to the bench. Either way, all of this is going to be completely for naught as the Braves trade for Adam Duvall for the 11th time. Or they could trade for the best outfielder on the market, Mr. Guillermo Heredia, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Guillermo Heredia, let's go. Yes, give me those swords. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what other Braves or baseball content you would like to see in the future in the comments. And I hope to see you next time. And until then, have a good one.